We're gonna start this one off with a stubborn locking wheel nut. If you followed the Corvette rebuild at all, you know that there's wheel lugs that came on this car, but no wheel key that came with it from the auction I bought it at. So we've got to extract the locks off the car. Every single wheel has one missing lug nut. That's because I took the wheel lock off of every single wheel but this one right here. Now I have all these different tools to get this thing off. Now these 3 specialty sockets right here are all meant for doing things like removing a stubborn wheel lock. These ones specifically came in a set of 2. These are really neat for a strip lug nut and they work pretty well. The problem is even the smaller one here is too big for the locking wheel nut. It just fits right over it and slips right off. This one right here is for really removing stubborn nuts, anything that's completely stripped, and these are awesome. This one is too snug, will not fit over. This right here is a 19mm deep socket with a 12 point that has one of the locking wheel nuts stuck in it. I haven't been able to get out for the life of me. The last socket right here is just a standard 3/4 inch deep socket, and well, it's about to be the last time I ever use it because we really need to get these wheels off. We're getting all brand new tires and hopefully solving our vibration problems. If you're like me and get a car from auction or somewhere else that comes with a set of locking lugs, you just need to get the socket that fits over it the best, get a really solid hammer, and right here. And there you go. After taking these wheels off, the tread on these aren't too bad, but these tires, these are Goodyear supercar tires. They're not very good overall. And since the driver's side of the car did run up on a curb, in case there was any internal tire damage, which I highly doubt, it'd just be nice to have all brand new everything. The replacement wheels are Pilot Super Sport Michelins, that's for the rear, and the fronts are getting Hankook Ventus V12s. So what's the big deal here? I'm just going and getting new tires on the Corvette. Well, the big deal is that front driver's side tire, which rolled up on the curb during the accident that the previous owner experienced, that I'm pretty sure is completely out of round, even though it looks perfect. So I'm hoping to do when we get to the tire shop is get that wheel and tire as it sits on a balancing machine and show you how crazy an out of round wheel looks, even though it looks perfectly normal. Here's our replacement eBay wheel right here. It's not in perfect shape, but for $130, it's the same color, it's OEM GM, and it was literally the only used gray on sport wheel that was on eBay at the time. So we're here at the tire shop. The wheels and tires for the Corvette are sitting right there. They've already started working on it, so we're gonna get in and out really quick. But real quick, let me see if they'll throw that bad wheel on the balancing machine. I wanna show you guys how messed up it looks. Oh, dude. Spin it again? Can you spin it without the top off or no? Nah, you can come from this angle. Oh wait, here, is this better angle? Oh, there you go. Oh yeah. So that's a rim issue then, yeah, sure, right? Yeah, 100%. And what's amazing is how decent it looks, you know, from the front end. It doesn't really look like it. But
the inside of the wheel that got smashed.
Yeah.
So the bed hit right in there.
Cool. That's what I need. I appreciate it.
Out of balance, 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 out of balance.
So here's the bad rim, and if we roll it, it's gonna be tough because we're on uneven pavement, but you can see it rolls all wonky. and there's a flat spot right here. You might be able to see it. You see where, yeah, you can see that definitely on camera. They said they were totally surprised that this wheel didn't crack. This has to be what's causing our terrible vibration. Look at how wide these rear wheels are. Look, this is my hand. That's how wide a rear Corvette Grand Sport Z06 ZR1 tire is. That was super easy, in and out in a few minutes. Huge thanks to Chris, who runs the tire shop. And we're good to go. All the tires are mounted and balanced. The one damaged wheel is swapped out. That thing was way more damaged than it looked. And I gotta make one more stop before we head home and install these things and then take the Corvette back on a test drive. I just got some really bad news that the Money Pit Jetta was involved in, I guess, a hit and run. Oh my God. He said that this was minor. He goes, oh, it was no big deal. It was minor. Who does this in a parking lot? This is a parking lot accident. This is minor. Look at how pushed in this is. This is like, oh my God. And they took out the frickin' mirror cover. Yeah, Mike, oh, it was just minor. This is minor. This basically needs a new fender. I would just replace the door, which, by the way, now you might have your opportunity to get the right GLI door in this car. So one of the reasons we suspected the electronics weren't working on the whole passenger side of the car is because this is a door off of a standard Jetta, and this is a GLI Jetta. The standard Jetta doesn't have a turn signal in here, which is missing anyway as of now. And there's just a few other, I don't know if it's automatic windows.
I had the windows working, but what happened was, for some reason, they just suddenly stopped. And then I had to hand crank. I had to pull the motor and use a pair. I had to use a pair of pliers to hand crank it up after I pulled the motor. And
all right, this thing is still a money pit.
Yeah.
But now, my God, it can't even catch a break, man. This is horrible.
Same side.
All right, the suspect has a white. Is this a white car or silver car? That's white paint, right? Well, a lighter color car. Yeah. There's a white car. Mike, whatever happened to that date you went on? So Mike went out on a date with a girl. She's like a sportsman type girl. And she says she likes shooting. So Mike invited her out to go shoot and see goats.
I was just going to say that she said I didn't have enough downtime.
Oh,
too much.
Well, you gotta work, man.
She's like,
especially if you're gonna drive a nice car like this, you gotta work. So this girl is into shooting. And so Mike said, hey, let's go and shoot, and then I've got some goats out on some property I want to show you. She thought he said, shoot goats.
No.
and I think that turned her off a little bit. By the way, Mike does not shoot goats. No. He has pet goats like I have pet chickens. All right, Mike just got money out of the ATM. Look at this. It says Donald Trump lives here. The crazy thing about this car, besides this nasty smash, is it was completely repainted, as I've told you guys before and shown you. There's really no other damage except I think there's a little bit of a dent on the hood from when we put a piece of wood underneath it to prop it up. And oh, Bumblebee just started up right over there. Anyway, yeah, look at this car. The whole entire side of it, no dings or anything. It's in such decent shape. I'm so disappointed to see this. All right, we're back home. Time to get the tires out of the Jeep and time to mount them on the Corvette, and then we'll go on a quick test drive. First impression with these new tires, they're definitely not as nearly as stiff as the last one. They're actually a little bit softer, more comfortable feeling, which for me is a good thing. Some people like stiffer, some people don't. But Michelin Pilot Super Sports are known for really good grip, so that should be really great on the rear end of the Corvette. Now, we're still in a neighborhood here, but I'm gonna try and get just a little stretch of real road so we can open it up. The streets are slightly wet. I just want to be able to get this car up to about 40 miles an hour and see if there's any vibrations in it. Wow, feels great. And the brakes work too. We are really good to go. Man, that felt really good, but it sounded really good. It's one of the things I didn't have when I owned a C6 Corvette. I had the most basic model they sold. And this car is a 1LT. It's a base Grand Sport. However, it comes with the optional exhaust. That sound that you just heard, there's flaps that open up at like 3,000 or 4,000 RPM, making things really noisy, really dramatic, just the way a Corvette should be. Now, a funny fact about the C6 generation of Corvette is actually that this Grand Sport, the more expensive model with the wider tires and the dry sump, is slower than the most base model they sell. That's because this car actually weighs a little bit more than the base model does, but I'm telling you right now, this one feels the real part. Whereas my old one, it almost sounded like a Honda Accord when you'd start it up, and when you really give it the gas, there was no drama to it. So I'm really, really happy with this car. The last thing that needs to be done to it at this point is have a full alignment, and of course, we need to get that body adjusted, but since I paid a body shop to do it already, and they didn't come through the first time, we're gonna return it to them and let them do the work. As always, guys, I really appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed this one, be sure to give it a huge like. If you have any questions for me, or if you have any suggestions what we should just do with this Money Pit Jetta, I'm thinking it belongs at a Copart yard at this point. Let me know in the comments section below. Also, I have an email listed in the description box. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you very soon.